Coffee Club on WJBF is brought to you by Waynesboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
We have a lot of rain across the metro right now with around 3 to 4 inches of rainfall in southern Richmond County and northern Jefferson County within just the last couple of hours. Possible flooding the rest of your evening. I'll have all those details coming up.
Now on News Channel 6 at 6, the United Way of the CSRA continuing to collect school supplies for students. More on its Stuff the Bus campaign coming up. Plus, a burn survivor's special day, how the worst day of his life led to one of his best days. As your News at 6 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
A good Sunday evening to you. I'm Kim Vickers in for Renetta DeBose. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin this evening in Allendale, where a shooting is under investigation. 2 people were shot at the Tiger Express late last night. Both succumbed to their injuries. The suspect was taken into custody today. We do not have any information on the identities of the suspect or the victims, but we are looking into this and will update you with that information as soon as we get it. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office needs your help locating a missing woman. 84-year-old Patricia Peterson went missing around 9:30 Saturday morning. She was last seen wearing a lavender shirt, black pants, and lavender shoes on Sternade Drive. Peterson was known to walk with a cane and frequents the area of Camilla Avenue. Peterson suffers from bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. If you see her, please contact your local authorities. And meteorologist Jenna Petracci joins us now with a first look at your forecast. Jenna, I can hear the rain on the roof right now.
Yeah, we can, and it's been very stormy outside pretty much all day long. We've had those dark storm clouds with a lot of rain and thunderstorms across the CSRA. Right now, my main focus is on what's happening across the metro. Over the past couple of hours, we've had this one isolated storm that really hasn't been moving much. So a lot of portions of the CSRA are actually dry, but there's a closer look at Augusta, including parts of Columbia County, mostly in southern Richmond County. That's where we're seeing some heavy rain. Now, it is starting to break apart a little bit, revealing a lot of light rain more so across Bobby Jones into downtown North Augusta, but still dealing with these heavy pockets here. And also over into Aiken County, a little bit of light rain and this large swath of light rainfall across Jenkins County up to parts of Burke and even into Screven County. So let's take a look at these rainfall totals. Right now, we aren't seeing any flood alerts in place. However, we definitely could see one any moment now as rainfall totals are over 4 inches in the northeastern corner of Jefferson County. We also have around 3 inches in southern Richmond County, right around the Fort Gordon area, around Hephzibah as well, and even into portions of North Augusta, around 2.5 to 3 inches of rain. Now looking towards the south of that in Burke County, nearly 2 inches just outside of Waynesboro. Similar situation in northern Jenkins County and in Screven. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam, as I mentioned, some pretty dark clouds out there. There's a look at AU Health. Temperatures are much cooler in locations with rain in the 70s, 73 in Augusta. In areas where there hasn't been any rain, we're still seeing those low 80s. Winds are also very breezy, 10 miles per hour in Aiken, 13 in Waynesboro, all due to this stationary front with low pressure in our area. This will keep storms around the rest of tonight, then drying out as we go into the week ahead. I'll have all those details coming up, but back to you, Kim.
Jenna, thank you. The United Way of the CSRA is making sure students in the area are getting the school supplies they need. It is continuing its annual Stuff the Bus event, filling big yellow buses with those supplies. Sunday afternoon, they made a stop at SRP Park. Bria Smith joins us live in the studio with more on the story.
A pencil and a sheet of paper take students a far way with their future education, much farther than just their first day of school, which is why local nonprofits have partnered to make sure students have the best year yet.
We want to make sure that every student in the entire area has all the right supplies they need to be successful that very first day.
That's why President of the United Way of the CSRA, Brittany Burnett, tells me Stuff the Bus is so important.
An effort like this, where we're inviting the entire community to come forward, will ensure that every single child deserves that opportunity.
Burnett says that SRP Park was a great central location for donations.
We partner with SRP Park on this event for a handful of years now, and then we are also great partners with SRP Federal Credit Union. So why not marry the two together? And when there's already a lot of kids and families out here on this day, there's other activities happening as well, and people are just picking up school supplies, dropping in a couple of things or a whole backpack of supplies.
With school starting in just a couple of weeks, the goal to collect more school supplies continues.
So any items are always in high need. Everything from notebook paper to pens and pencils, kids calculators, earbuds, headphones, things that may also be a little more expensive that may be unattainable for some families.
More drop-off locations, dates, and times could be found on WJBF.com.
These supplies will be used throughout the year because the highlighters will run dry, the pencils will become down to nubs, and so by offering these supplies now, we'll have a great pipeline for these kids for the remainder of the school year. Right here at Television Park, we have a drop-off box, and if you can't donate school supplies, organization leaders say they're still accepting dollar donations to purchase the necessary items for students. Kim?
All right, Bria, thanks. In Aiken County, school leaders at Highland Springs Middle School are faced with some obstacles after an inspection of their new building. A follow-up inspection is scheduled for Monday, the day before school begins. School officials say that if it isn't cleared for students to start school on campus, there is a backup plan. Students will pick up their school-issued laptops on Monday at North Augusta High School. If the building isn't ready, they will start school virtually until it is. Highland Springs will announce the format for the start of school on Monday evening. And a new taco shop held its ribbon cutting Saturday afternoon. The team's focus is authenticity meets community and tasty food. The restaurant got its start in Illinois, but after investors and business partners saw the need for authentic Mexican cuisine in this area, they were all on board. Taco Madre has partnered with some of the CSRA's most known organizations like Augusta Locally Grown and Golden Harvest Food Bank. It supports the mission of real, authentic, and local food found just down the road.
We pride ourselves in giving that authentic street taco, but then we also pride ourselves in giving up like fusion tacos. Like, so we have a taco that we have tacos that are called Madre style tacos. They're tacos that we've literally come up with, and it's the only creation that you'll find here.
Owners say since Augusta is home to the godfather of soul, they hope Taco Madre can be home to the godmother of tacos. Yesterday was a special day for Preston Cobb, a patient in the burn center at Doctors Hospital, as family, friends, and hospital staff came together to celebrate Cobb's wedding. WJBF's photojournalist Reginald Mackey was there for the I-Dos.
We had a chemical spill at our job. I tried to, run to get away from it and ended up falling in it.
I was taking care of Preston when I overheard him say he was adamant he was not moving his wedding date, and I wasn't going to let it happen.
She was like, I got good news for you. And I was like, what's that? And she was like, you're getting married on the 22nd. And it literally put me in tears.
No, we really just planned it on finalizing the marriage license and just accepting that we had to miss this day.
I just wanted to let them have one small little happy win out of all this negative that's been going on in his life, and I'm very, very happy for them.
Love bears all things, regardless of what comes. Preston and Tanisha, do you both take each other as each other's loving spouses? Do you promise to love each other, honor each other, cherish each other, protect each other, forsaking all others and holding only unto each other? If you both believe in this charge, you'll respond, I will.
I will. I, Preston.
Take Tanisha
Take Tanisha
to be my wife.
to be my wife.
I take him as my husband
Take him as my husband
for as long as we both shall live.
for as long as we both shall live.
Now pronounce you husband and wife. Preston,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you may kiss your bride.
Love never fails.
Yes.
That's been the mantra. Love
Right.
never fails.
And congratulations to them. There is a GoFundMe set up to help Cobb's family during his long recovery. You can find that link on this story over on WJBF.com.
Within the last 3 hours, we've had 3 to 4.5 inches of rainfall in portions of southwestern Richmond County and northeastern Jefferson County. How much longer will the rain last? I'll have all those details after this break.
The number of the Atlanta Braves. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Good Sunday evening. I hope you had a great weekend, and hopefully you've been dodging these storms. All the way since Thursday, we've been dealing with thunderstorms that have brought some heavy rain and severe weather. Fortunately, no severe storms today, but we do have the risk of flooding, and that's across the metro, where we're seeing the main area of rainfall right now, anywhere from Columbia County down to southwestern Richmond County. This has been going on since around 4 o'clock. We've had some very heavy rain right now, right around Evans, Martinez, light rainfall right across the metro and downtown. And we also have some isolated storms pushing into Hancock County now. So heads up if you're in Sparta, there is going to be some thunderstorms headed your way. And these storms are moving very slow, dumping a lot of rainfall across the CSRA. Now, we don't have any flood alerts in place, but it is definitely possible that we could have a flood advisory or flood warning issued here across the metro as rainfall totals are nearing that 5-inch mark right in northeastern Jefferson County. There's where Renz is. And just to the north of it, we have a lot of rain in a pretty large area of around 3.5 inches. That includes Hepzibah, all of southwestern Richmond County, around North Augusta, even 2.5 inches, and just outside of North Augusta, much lower amounts under that 1-inch mark. Now, we are also seeing around 1 inch to 1.5 inches from Screven County up into Burke County, just outside of Waynesboro and Millen. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over at the airport showing very, very cloudy skies. Rain isn't happening right now, but we do have some drizzle around, some light showers just outside the area. 73 degrees is our temperature. The rain definitely helped cool us down. Also only feeling like 73 degrees, so no major heat, at least for this evening. We are seeing warmer temperatures, though, in our western counties where they've been dry, sitting at 86 degrees in Washington and Lincolnton. 78, though, in Louisville, Wrightsville at 77. 90 degrees up in Saluda, Aiken at 78. Now, the reason for the rain is because we have low pressure right across our area with a stationary front. This will still stall out in the area tomorrow, bringing us another 30% chance of some thunderstorms in the afternoon. Partly cloudy and dry days Tuesday and Wednesday, and right around average in the mid-90s. So starting out tomorrow morning with some fog, 70 degrees, mostly cloudy at 9 a.m. There's a little bit of sun later on as we make it to around that 90-degree mark, with the heat index only making it into the upper 90s. So definitely still feeling hot, but not as bad as it was last week. And let's go into our futurecast now. There's that stationary front moving a little bit to the south, changing into a cold front with high pressure taking over. So several of our counties will be dry for tomorrow, but mostly our southern counties south of Augusta will have the chance of a few thunderstorms on Monday, but drying out again on Tuesday. Tonight at 8 o'clock, still some rain in Augusta in our western counties. So this could definitely lead to more flooding concerns the rest of tonight. Fog tomorrow morning, then keeping it dry with just some clouds throughout the majority of Monday. But around 5, 6 o'clock is when we'll have those isolated storms develop, continuing around 10 o'clock at night. Lows tonight in the upper 60s and low 70s. Highs tomorrow in the low 90s, a below average day, but we'll be back to 94 on Tuesday, 95 here Wednesday. Partly cloudy and dry all the way until the weekend. Then we'll see a few storms return with the temperatures heating up.
Glad to see it's cooling down just a little bit, but that is quite a bit of rain.
Yeah, at least no 100-degree days.
Thank goodness for that. All right, Jenna, thank you. Coming up, the latest on deadly boating accidents in 3 different states. Those details when we return.
With high and good for just you at any of my 4 Miracle dealerships. Your credit doesn't have to hold you back. Drive your dreams. Learn more about our credit challenge at mymiracleadvantage.com, Facebook, or Instagram.
Several boating accidents over the past 5 days have left 2 young girls dead and several other people injured. One involving a 17-year-old high school student occurred along the north shore of Cape Cod. Another, the daughter of a former Major League Soccer player in South Carolina, how his former team paid tribute. Here's Morgan Norwood with those details.
A tragedy Friday night in Massachusetts' Sassoon Harbor in Cape Cod after a boat crashed into a jetty around 9 p.m.
Getting a report, one head injury, people in the water. Boat hit the jetty and launched all parties into the water.
Massachusetts State Police say a 17-year-old student died and 5 others were injured in the crash.
They really responded quickly, and that's the most important thing in something like this.
Roberta Palace has lived across the street from the ocean for decades.
I've lived here for a long time, and I've never seen anything like this.
Multiple Massachusetts search and rescue teams conducted the search. The teen's body was recovered later that evening. A 17-year-old boy who was also on the boat taken to the hospital to be treated for head laceration. Friday's deadly boat crash comes just days after another boating accident took the life of an 11-year-old girl.
It's kind of made me upset at first because she was so young, and to have to see her go up and know that she could seriously be hurt is very upsetting.
Olivia Knighton was killed Wednesday when a large wake from another boat sent her and 8 others overboard. She was struck by a propeller and died from her injuries. Her father is retired Major League Soccer goalkeeper Brad Knighton. His former team, the New England Revolution, paying tribute to Olivia at Saturday night's game. And late Saturday, 8 people were injured when an intoxicated boater crashed ashore and hit a home on the Lake of the Ozarks. According to the Missouri State Highway Patrol, authorities said the home, which was occupied at the time of the crash, suffered extensive damage. The driver of the boat, Adam Ramirez of Huntington Beach, California, charged with 2 counts of boating while intoxicated. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Coming up, we'll check in on the Braves and hear about the winner of the PGA Open Championship. Sports is next.
Forecast on News Channel 6, brought to you by Murphy Family Insurance.
Protect your family the way I protect mine with MurphyFamilyInsurance.com.
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
It was an exciting day for the Augusta Green Jackets as they celebrated Princess Day and Bark in the Park for a Sunday afternoon game against the Fredericksburg Nationals at SRP Park. Fans showed up and showed out, bringing along their princess ears and their puppers, but that was the happiest thing about today. Down 14-4 in the top of the 8th inning, the Green Jackets gave up a 2-run home run with 2 outs. They would go on to lose 17-4 in their final game against the Nationals. They will now hit the road to take on the Charleston River Dogs. Over in the MLB, the Braves lost a close one to the Brewers last night, which meant that today's winner took the series. Atlanta fell behind early but rallied with a 3-run 8th inning to get the win 4-2. I'll have highlights of today's game when we return later on tonight for News Channel 6 at 11. Former Atlanta Brave Fred McGriff became one of 2 new additions to the Baseball Hall of Fame on Sunday in Cooperstown. Dozens of baseball legends and thousands of Crime Dog fans joined the inductees at the ceremony to hear the legendary first baseman talk about this honor and what it was like to get the call.
I'm humbled and honored to be standing in front of you and now to be part of this fraternity alongside you. So when my phone rang and my caller ID showed us from the Hall of Fame, with my wife and daughter at home, I slipped into my office and closed the door. I answered the phone and heard Jane say, "Congratulations. You've been unanimously elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame." It was the best phone call of my life. You see, my goal was simply to make it to the big leagues, and I exceeded every expectation I could ever imagine, and then some. It is a great feeling getting recognized for your hard work. And now to have a plaque forever hanging in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, it's unbelievable.
As McGriff mentioned, he was a unanimous selection for induction by the 16-member Contemporary Baseball Era Committee. A big congratulations to the living legend. And finally, on a very rainy final day of the Open Championship, there is Brian Harman looking for his first major championship and his first PGA Tour win since 2017. On the par 3 6th hole, he sinks the 14-foot birdie putt and improves to 11 under. Then on the next hole, another birdie putt, this one from 24 feet out. He sinks it to build up a 5-stroke lead through 7 holes as he improves to 12 under. Then on the par 4 14th hole, Harman now at 11 under and attempting a long birdie putt from over 40 feet out. He sinks it to move back to 12 under, and you can see that he is clearly pumped. Finally, over on the 18th, Harman now at 13 under as he walks to 18 green. Here he is chipping from the bunker. He manages to stick this one within 8 feet of the hole. He's really feeling it, and he sets up for his final shot, his putt for par on 18 that will secure him his first major. He manages to find the bottom of the cup, and the Savannah native and former Georgia Bulldog earns his first PGA Tour win since 2017. You can see it's an emotional moment for him, but some very well-earned new hardware for the 2023 Open champion. Congratulations to Brian Harman. That does it for sports, and we'll be right back.
Got in the car.
So check this out. Pickled cocktails, latest drinks entering the canned cocktail trend. One has a pickle hard seltzer. Now Clausen has a pickle spritzer. So it's these pickled flavored alcoholic drinks. And now I personally am down for this. I will drink pickle juice right out of the jar. What about you guys? What do you think?
I love pickles, but I'm not a pickle juice kind of girl.
No, I think the can is cute. This is a cute little decoration, but
true.
No, I would try it. I would try it.
I would try it,
I
I guess.
Yeah,
But I don't think it'd be my favorite. Well, for a 10-day forecast, we have a few more storms around tomorrow, but then we're finally drying out. Tuesday through Thursday look great. Our temperatures will be right around average at 94 to 95 degrees. Back to a 20% chance of rain for your Friday and Saturday, 30% on Sunday, and at that point we'll be back to around 96 to 97 degrees.
All right, that's all we've got for now. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again at 11 tonight. Have a good night.
We had some storms.
Next Sunday, the $100,000 pyramid moves to a new time, 9/8 Central. Feels for you. Feelings for you. Hey. Feels for you. You're feeling something. Good morning, America.
We had some storms tonight, and we'll have a few more storms tomorrow. Temperatures will still be below average, some fog in the morning as well. Then we'll see some changes starting on Tuesday. I'll have all those details coming up.
Now on News Channel 6 at 11, the United Way of the CSRA swings into full gear at SRP Park. More on its Stop the Bus campaign coming up. Plus, Aiken is holding early voting for a city official position. Details on that straight ahead. And we sit down with one of the stars from Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, about their experience on the show. As your News at 11 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
And a good Sunday evening to you. I'm Kim Vickers in for Renetta DeBose. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin this evening in Allendale, where a shooting is under investigation. 2 people were shot at the Tiger Express late last night. Both succumbed to their injuries. A suspect was taken into custody today. We do not have any information on the identities of the suspect or the victims, but we are looking into this and will update you with that information as soon as we get it. And some good news, a missing Augusta woman has been found. Authorities say 84-year-old Patricia Peterson was found and is now back at home safe and sound. Peterson went missing early Saturday morning and suffers from a bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Now, meteorologist Jenna Petracci joins us with your forecast. Jenna, there was a couple of showers a little earlier tonight.
Yeah, we actually got a good amount of rain across the metro. Some places reaching around 4 inches in southern Richmond County.
Good morning, America.
We had some storms tonight, and we'll have a few more storms tomorrow. Temperatures will still be below average, some fog in the morning as well. Then we'll see some changes starting on Tuesday. I'll have all those details coming up.
Now on News Channel 6 at 11, the United Way of the CSRA swings into full gear at SRP Park. More on its Stop the Bus campaign coming up. Plus, Aiken is holding early voting for a city official position. Details on that straight ahead. And we sit down with one of the stars from Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, about their experience on the show. As your News at 11 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
And a good Sunday evening to you. I'm Kim Vickers in for Renetta DeBose. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin this evening in Allendale, where a shooting is under investigation. 2 people were shot at the Tiger Express late last night. Both succumbed to their injuries. A suspect was taken into custody today. We do not have any information on the identities of the suspect or the victims, but we are looking into this and will update you with that information as soon as we get it. And some good news, a missing Augusta woman has been found. Authorities say 84-year-old Patricia Peterson was found and is now back at home safe and sound. Peterson went missing early Saturday morning and suffers from a bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Now, meteorologist Jenna Petracci joins us with your forecast. Jenna, there was a couple of showers a little earlier tonight.
Yeah, we actually got a good amount of rain across the metro, some places reaching around 4 inches in southern Richmond County. But the good news is that the Augusta area is finally getting a break from the rain. We are still tracking a couple isolated storms just to the west of our viewing area, so heads up for places such as Tolliver, Wilkes, in Hancock County. We are watching this one isolated storm that's traveling along I-20 in between Madison and Covington. So this will be tracking towards the east, potentially headed into the CSRA, though I do think it will dissipate a lot by the time it reaches us. But in the meantime, our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam at Augusta Regional Airport looking good. We could still have some damp roadways, but definitely no flood alerts in place this evening, and no more under a threat of severe weather. Today's high temperature was only 91 degrees. It was another below average day when it comes to the highs. Low temperature was 72 though, so exactly what we typically see for this time of the year. Right now we're already at 73 degrees. By tomorrow morning I'm expecting us to be right around 70, 75 in Thompson and Evans, 74 in Louisville, so pretty consistent across the board here. A little bit warmer in Sandersville at 78 and 72 in Edgefield. Pretty cloudy skies for everyone. Winds are calm across Augusta and Aiken coming in from the south, seeing up to 6 miles per hour in Crawfordville, 10 in Washington, 7 up in Lincolnton, but for the most part pretty light, with a stationary front across our area keeping the cloud cover and a few storms around. Low pressure as well across the CSRA. So for tomorrow morning, we'll start out with some fog. Upper 60s, low 70s, 76 by 9 a.m., mostly cloudy skies. A few more storms around tomorrow as well by the afternoon and evening, though it will be a mostly dry week ahead with temperatures rising soon. I'll have all those details coming up, but back to you, Kim.
All right, Jenna, thank you. The United Way of the CSRA is making sure students in the area are getting the school supplies that they need. It is continuing its annual Stuff the Bus event, filling big yellow buses with those supplies. Sunday afternoon, they made a stop at SRP Park. Bria Smith has more on that story.
A pencil and a sheet of paper take students a far way with their future education, much farther than just their first day of school, which is why local nonprofits have partnered to make sure students have the best year yet.
We want to make sure that every student in the entire area has all the right supplies they need to be successful that very first day.
That's why President of the United Way of the CSRA, Brittany Burnett, tells me Stuff the Bus is so important.
An effort like this, where we're inviting the entire community to come forward, will ensure that every single child deserves that opportunity.
Burnett says that SRP Park was a great central location for donations.
We partner with SRP Park on this event for a handful of years now, and then we are also great partners with SRP Federal Credit Union. So why not marry the two together? And when there's already a lot of kids and families out here on this day, there's other activities happening as well, and people are just picking up school supplies, dropping in a couple of things or a whole backpack of supplies.
With school starting in just a couple of weeks, the goal to collect more school supplies continues.
So any items are always in high need. Everything from notebook paper to pens and pencils, highlighters, and also things for older kids, calculators, earbuds, headphones, things that may also be a little more expensive that may be unattainable for some families.
More drop-off locations, dates, and times could be found on WJBF.com.
These supplies will be used throughout the year because the highlighters will run dry, the pencils will become down to nubs, and so by offering these supplies now, we'll have a great pipeline for these kids for the remainder of the school year.
Right here at Television Park, we have a drop-off box, and if you can't donate school supplies, organization leaders say they're still accepting dollar donations to purchase the necessary items for students. Kim?
Bria, thanks. In Aiken County, school leaders at Highland Springs Middle School are faced with some obstacles after an inspection of the new building. A follow-up inspection is scheduled for Monday, the day before school begins. School officials say that if it isn't cleared for students to start school on campus, there is a backup plan. Students will pick up their school-issued laptops on Monday at North Augusta High School. If the building isn't ready, they'll start school virtually until it is. Highland Springs will announce the format for the start of school on Monday evening. Tomorrow, voters in Aiken will head to the polls for early voting. Augusta's top law enforcement officer is our guest on the next edition of the Means Report. Richmond County Sheriff Richard Roundtree gives us an update on his efforts to protect and serve. We talk about helping the homeless population and the importance of community involvement. You won't want to miss Brad's conversation with the sheriff.
Is Augusta a safe town, Sheriff?
Yeah, absolutely. For the average citizen who are going to work every day, making a living for their family, the risks are very low for them for gun violence. And that's what we try to understand, that a lot of this has to do with gang activity and drug activity. And a lot of these individuals put themselves in situations where we tell them that they're either going to be a victim or a perpetrator of gun violence. So for the average citizen, absolutely Augusta is a safe place.
Also looks at the need for more deputies and what it's like to run such a large agency on the Means Report Monday afternoon at 12:30 right here on News Channel 6. Summer House Martha's Vineyard has been deemed a summertime hit, and Amir Lancaster, one of the stars of the show, chats with WJBF Digital about his reality TV experience. News Channel 6's Carlton Clay has more.
Hello everyone, I'm Carlton T. Clay. Right now I am privileged to have one of the stars of the hit reality series, Summer House Martha's Vineyard, Amir Lancaster. Amir, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. What's up?
I'm well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us here. We definitely appreciate you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to talk to us.
It was no problem at all.
No problem. All right, let's get into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, give us a little brief summary of who Amir Lancaster is.
Yeah, so I am a Texas native, born and raised originally from Arlington, Texas, little small town. But migrated over to Austin when I went to Texas State University. After I graduated, kind of jumped around a little bit, lived in Houston, Chicago, different areas, just trying to find my fit in the world. And then ultimately ended up coming back to Austin and pursuing sales and then eventually real estate.
Awesome. So you just mentioned you were in real estate. Now, what attracted you to real estate? Like, what made that something that you wanted to focus on?
Yeah, really, it was the opportunity to make an impact in my community. I worked with corporate sales for 3 years, like I mentioned, and there wasn't too much fulfillment that I felt, when closing a deal or making these business connections. I wanted something where what I did made a difference, not only in their, business lives, but also personal lives. And so real estate is one of those careers where you can help people, whether it's building generational wealth and investments in it, or their personal lives, and just giving them, something that's theirs. And so that's kind of what drew me to real estate, was making the connection in my community.
That sounds good, man. Thank you for that. Now, it was just announced by Bravo that Summer House Martha's Vineyard has been renewed for season 2. So congratulations on that for sure. I know you guys are still waiting to hear like who will officially be coming back. But if you do get the opportunity, would you be open to doing another season of the show?
Absolutely. Being in the house with my friends is something that I look forward to. Had the chance to connect with a couple of them every time I go to New York, whether it be for work or the show. And so I think getting back in the house would be a dream come true, just to kind of reconnect with everyone.
Sounds good. Now, if people want to follow your journey, how can they do so?
Instagram and TikTok are going to be the best too. Pretty active on both of those platforms, and it's going to be _Amir Lancaster _.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, Amir, thank you so much for joining us. We definitely appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do, and congratulations on all you're doing. And we wish you the best on all your endeavors.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for having me.
No problem. All right. I am Carlton T. Clay, and you are watching WJBF Digital. Have a good one.
Coming up, rising temperatures throughout this week. We'll have more details for your full forecast with Jenna when we return.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Good Sunday evening. I hope you had a great weekend, and hopefully you dodged all the dangerous thunderstorms we had. In fact, we had some pictures sent in from Trenton, South Carolina. Brittany Boatwright took these, and these are some really cool shots of cloud-to-ground lightning that happened on a Thursday night from the thunderstorms. So from Thursday all the way into today, we've had some strong to severe storms. So I hope you all stayed very safe. There's definitely been a lot of damage reports over the last few days, and of course a lot of lightning. So if you see any cool weather features you want to take pictures of, and send them to me over on my Facebook, Twitter, or email those to me. I'll feature them in my next show. But here's a look at Live Viper 6 right now. We're pretty much nice and dry across the CSRA, but I am tracking one spotty shower that's along the I-20 area from Covington in between Madison, tracking towards the east near Taliaferro County. So heads up, and if you're in some of our northwestern counties, there may be a little bit of rain, but those will dissipate for the most part before reaching us. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam is cloudy right now, but no rain coming down here in town. We're sitting at 73 degrees under a south wind of 3 miles per hour. Dew point of 72. Another muggy night. Visibility is fine for now at 10 miles, but we will see some patchy fog develop as we go into the overnight hours. Right now, sitting all in those low to mid 70s, 75 in Thompson and Gibson, 74 in Louisville, Aiken, Edgefield, and Saluda, all at 73 degrees under those overcast skies. This low pressure system with a stationary front is what caused a few thunderstorms earlier today. It's been lingering across our area, and that caused for some pretty heavy downpours that really weren't moving much. We had around 4 inches of rain in some parts of the metro. But for tomorrow, only a 30% chance of rain, so a few more storms around, then going under 20% for our Tuesday and Wednesday, a partly cloudy day, and temperatures will be heating up. We're going to be below average tomorrow, only topping off around 90 degrees in the early evening and late afternoon. But then as we go into Tuesday, we'll be back to around average in those mid 90s. So we have the stationary front that'll be dissipating and turning into a cold front briefly, bringing us the chance of a few pop-up storms tomorrow. But high pressure will keep our northern counties dry. So I'm expecting those storms to be to the south of Augusta. Then high pressure completely takes over the CSRA for Tuesday and Wednesday. Possibly could still see a few spotty showers in our southeastern counties along a sea breeze front, but other than that, really not a whole lot of rain. So we'll keep it dry until tomorrow around 4 p.m. That's when we'll see some storms develop. And once again, these will mostly be to the south of Augusta. Could deal with some isolated flooding concerns, but I'm not expecting these to be severe. Then by 8 o'clock, really becoming just very spotty showers, not much to worry about. And then clearing skies as that front moves out by Monday evening. Our lows tonight will be in the upper 60s to low 70s, once again with the patchy fog. Below average temperatures tomorrow, once again, similar to today at 91 degrees in Augusta, 90 in Aiken. Your 10-day forecast showing temperatures heat up quickly, though, back to 94 on Tuesday, 95 for your Wednesday, with no rain until Friday. Then our rain chances go back up to 20 to 30% to end the week. And our temperatures will also be going up even more, 96 to 97 degrees.
I like hearing that. No rain till Friday.
Yeah, a little bit of a break. We had plenty of rain over the last few days.
Yeah, welcome to the summer in the South,
Yep.
right? All right, thank you, Jenna. Coming up, thousands evacuated as wildfires burn on Greece's island of Rhodes. Those details after the break.
Hyundai, low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service.
Greek officials are calling it the
TT. Monday night at 7:30 on News Channel 6. The WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview Network is sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service.
Greek officials are calling it the largest wildfire evacuation in Greece's history. Thousands of people carried to safety by bus and by boat this weekend as flames continue to ravage the island of Rhodes. Here's Andrew Dimberg with the latest.
Wildfires tearing across the Greek island of Rhodes for the 7th straight day. Fueled by a heat wave that's sweeping across Europe, the massive flames racing up the mountains, threatening resorts and burning homes to the ground. Our heart is here. Please save us, this woman says, as her house burns. Huge plumes of smoke filling the skies, the sun barely visible. Before and after satellite images show just how much Earth has been scorched by the fires. 19,000 people were evacuated from homes and hotels as the flames reached resorts on the southeastern coast of the island.
It's horrendous. Absolutely, I've never been so scared my entire life.
Officials say as many as 3,000 people were taken off the island by sea, others staying in crowded makeshift shelters. Rhodes is a popular vacation destination, particularly for British tourists.
We started to hear the helicopters, and then basically you could see the fire eventually on the mountaintop. Panic, everyone dashing about, fleeing for buses.
This man was staying in the seaside village of Falaraki.
We said that when we see smoke and when we can smell the smoke, we will evacuate ourselves. We're just being safe because I don't know how many tourists there are in Falaraki, but evacuating that area, it's going to be impossible.
The airport now crowded with tourists trying to get home.
Everyone's screaming and shouting and crying. We're desperate to get home.
The airport on the northern part of the island is still open. UK-based EasyJet says it's adding additional flights to its schedule between Rhodes Island and the UK. Andrew Dimberg, ABC News, New York.
Coming up, we'll check in on the Braves and hear about the winner of the PGA Open Championship. Sports is next.
Interiors Market by Weinbergers is the newest place to buy furniture. Our building has been redesigned inside and out. We have filled the store with unique furniture, mattresses, and accessories, all at unbeatable prices. We have living room, bedroom, dining room, and even kids' furniture all on display now. Hurry in and see all of the new furniture that fits your style and your budget. Come see what's new.
We have a stacked hour. It was a great week on Morning in America.
I speak truth about what rescues children.
Are you seeing this ripple effect across other industries?
Start your morning off right with Adrian and Markey. Weekdays beginning at 6 Eastern on News Nation. Tomorrow is the government.
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
Sunday was a very exciting day for the Augusta Green Jackets as they celebrated Princess Day and Bark in the Park for an afternoon game against the Fredericksburg Nationals. Fans showed up and showed out, bringing along their princess ears and their puppers, but that was about the happiest thing about the day. Down 14-4 in the top of the 8th inning, the Green Jackets gave up a 2-run home run with 2 outs, and they would go on to lose 17-4 in their final game against the Nationals. Next up, the team will hit the road to take on the Charleston River Dogs. Over in the MLB, the Braves visited the Brewers for their rubber match on Sunday. Top of the second with nobody on, Travis d'Arnaud takes it the opposite way and sneaks it over the fence for a solo homer. And that puts the Braves on the board first, 1-0. Then in the top of the 6th, the Braves were trailing 2-1 with 2 on for Ozzie Albies, who was 0 for 8 in the series so far, but not anymore as he takes the first pitch and sends it out of the park to left center field. That's Albies' second go-ahead home run in the 8th inning or later this season to put the Braves back on top 4-2. And that would be the final score in Milwaukee as the Braves take Game 3 and the series. Former Atlanta Brave Fred McGriff became one of 2 new additions to the Baseball Hall of Fame on Sunday in Cooperstown. Dozens of baseball legends and thousands of Crime Dog fans joined the inductees at the ceremony to hear the legendary first baseman talk about this honor and what it was like to get the call.
I'm humbled and honored to be standing in front of you and now to be part of this fraternity alongside you. So when my phone rang and my caller ID showed us from the Hall of Fame, with my wife and daughter at home, I slipped into my office and closed the door. I answered the phone and heard Jane say, "Congratulations. You've been unanimously elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame." It was the best phone call of my life. You see, my goal was simply to make it to the big leagues, and I exceeded every expectation I could ever imagine, and then some. It is a great feeling getting recognized for your hard work. And now to have a plaque forever hanging in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, it's unbelievable.
As McGriff mentioned, he was a unanimous selection for induction by the 16-member Contemporary Baseball Era Committee. Congratulations to the living legend. And finally, on Sunday, it was a very rainy final day of the Open Championship. There's Brian Harman looking for his first major championship and his first PGA Tour win since 2017. On the par 3 6th hole, he sinks the 14-foot birdie putt and improves to 11 under. Next hole, another birdie putt, this one from 24 feet out. He sinks it to build up a 5-stroke lead through 7 holes as he improves to 12 under. Then on the par 4 14th hole, Harman now at 11 under and attempting a long birdie putt from over 40 feet out. He sinks it to move back to 12 under, and you can see that he is really pumped about it. Finally, on the 18th, Harman now at 13 under as he walks to 18 green. Here he is, chipping in from the bunker. He manages to stick this within 8 feet of the hole. He's really feeling it as he sets up for his final shot.
A putt for par on 18 that will secure him his first major. He finds the bottom of the cup, and the Savannah native and former Georgia Bulldog earns his first PGA Tour win since 2017, and now his first major championship as well. You can see it's an emotional moment for him, but some very well-earned new hardware for the 2023 Open champion. Congratulations to Brian Harmon, and that does it for sports.
Coming up, an animal taking a thrill ride. We'll have that story after the break.
Gatman Heating Oil.
Now check this out. Cedar Point Amusement Park in Ohio.
Visit your local Honda dealer today.
What is it like to be in law enforcement? What challenges do deputies face on a daily basis? Richmond County Sheriff Richard Roundtree talks about that and so much more. He is our guest. You'll want to hear from him on the Means Report.
Now check this out. Cedar Point Amusement Park in Ohio had special guests flocking there. People riding the famous Millennium Force roller coaster were shocked to see a duck seated beside them, and it apparently collided with a rider as it was zipping around the tracks and landed inside. And the guests grabbed the duck after the ride ended to make sure it got some medical treatment, but they didn't know that had happened. The Millennium Force is one of the tallest and fastest roller coasters in the world, reaching speeds up to 93 miles an hour. Now, I don't do roller coasters, and that's probably partly why. I mean, you've got birds up there, and, I would be the one to take a robin to the face.
I would have never thought of that, though, running into a bird on it.
I know. Well, at least he got a ride, right? He got a little thrill
I'm not
ride.
sure what he would have thought about it. I mean, I'd be terrified. I don't do roller coasters either.
Absolutely.
Well, for our forecast this week, we are still below average tomorrow with a high of only 91. Still a 30% chance of some thunderstorms, then just partly cloudy and mostly dry Tuesday through Thursday's temperatures make it back into the mid-90s.
All right, that's our report for now. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to join Marion Barkley tomorrow morning for Good Morning Augusta.